Hello from the homestead. Today I'm going to be doing one kind of big thing, medium thing I guess, and then a lot of other little things today. I'm crossing my fingers I'll get as much as done as I can. What I'm going to be doing first is kind of prepping the garden bed finally. That's the garden bed over by the cabin that I showed quite a few episodes ago, that I'm thinking about using for maybe just a flower bed. I haven't really decided yet. I'll kind of talk about some of the plans later. But what I'm going to be doing this morning is I'm going to go to our local transfer station. That's fancy for the local dump, because they have certified like prepped okay, it's certified good to use compost that's free. So I'm going to go pick some of that up to put into that garden bed. So I have the trailer here, and then I have to go pick up an order of lumber, and there's a couple other things I want to do. But I'm really excited about getting this garden bed kind of put to bed, because we're not going to be planting in it this year. I just wanted to let it sit and decompose, because we are putting a layer of cardboard down, and we've slowly been just throwing cardboard on there, and so like as you walk by it looks so trashy. So I'm so excited to get it to all that covered up today. I will keep you posted on our progress, and I'm gonna head out here, so let's go. We got compost loaded up. It was awesome. They loaded up for me. I brought my little wimpy shovel, and so I probably ended up with a lot more than I would have got by myself. They just had a huge backhoe, loaded me up. So I'm just gonna get the tarp thrown over this and it's strapped down, and we'll head back to the homestead. Alright, so I am back on the homestead. The first thing that I've already done is I cleared off all the cardboard that we've just been throwing here. We haven't really been putting it down in an organized manner, and I've got it kind of all over there. And what I want to do to ground zero here is just go through it. I'm going to pick out some rocks that are sitting on top. There were some rocks that I dug out earlier over there that there's some holes left, so I kind of want to even this out. And then also this whole bed is a little bit sloped, and obviously that's not ideal, especially when you're talking about having moisture in here. You don't want it to just all run off, especially it's running towards the cabin there, which we're not too worried because the cabin is up on stilts, so that water would just go underneath it, so that's not that big of a deal. But still, you don't really want that moisture escaping. So I am going to there's not too much I can do to even it out with this. I'm going to do my best, especially with these holes. And then I'm also going to rake out some of the gravel, that landscaping rock that was put in, around those. Some of it went into the actual garden bed, so I'm going to try to do my best to push it aside. And then I will start putting down the cardboard and the compost. So I want to get going here. The sun's starting to come over here. I'm losing my shade, so I better hurry up. Okay, so surprisingly that didn't take as long as I thought it was going to take. So now I'm going to kind of organize all the cardboard on top. But first, I got a bag of kind of end of the road apples that weren't really good to eat anymore, and I figured, oh, I can just, I got them for free, just throw them in the garden. So I'm going to put those down first. We haven't started our own compost, or even just started putting food in the ground to have we haven't started our own compost, because I want to have a good system set up to protect it from any critters and bears and stuff. So putting food down, I'm putting the apples down first so the cardboard can cover that, and then the compost, just so those odors are not out there, so I don't have a bear digging in my garden, or more likely a marmot. Those things. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
to be. You've been on my mind, together in another life. Feels like so much time from when we were saying, holding my breath. Don't lose the moment. Holding my breath. Don't lose the moment. Here at the edge, our hearts are open, falling again.
So I am going to be putting the compost, or I'll talk about this in a second, wood chips, onto the garden here in a second. But first I just wanted to talk about where this came from. So earlier I was saying that this was like certified okay to use compost, and the reason why it has to be certified is because the compost that was advertised was made out of this just human sewage that our water processing facility processed, and it is certified by the EPA. I was doing a lot of research on this because I was like, are we gonna put human compost or humanure on our garden bed, especially because we don't know if we're going to be using it for our vegetables or not. And that's really where the controversy comes in, is if you're going to use it for your vegetable garden, where like the vegetables are actually coming into contact with that soil. There's just a lot of controversy or just discussions out there about that topic, if you should do it or not. The reason why humanure, human waste, is so much more like quote dangerous than like cow, horse, chicken manure is because just think of like what we eat and just what we put in our bodies as well, like not just food but medicines and stuff. It has to go through a lot more rigorous process to be considered safe to use as compost. You have to heat it at much higher levels to get all that bacteria and pathogens out of that. There's also, I mentioned, like we put medicine in our body, so the pharmaceutical end of things, that is a thing that can be hard to get out of that soil. So we decided that we're going to give it a go, especially because we think that we're going to just be using this as a flower bed, and maybe down the road in like a year or two for a vegetable garden. We'll see. And we don't have a solid plan yet because we don't know what our like water in like garden irrigation is going to look like yet, because we don't even have our water hooked up to our home yet. So we figured that's probably a little bit more of a priority than kind of figuring out what we're going to do for our garden. We would like to do some water collection, but we don't get a ton of water here, so it's going to be a learning process. But anyway, so back to the like compost, putting humanure in this bed. We figured even if down the road we do use it for a vegetable garden, it'll be a couple of years. A lot of that stuff, we're going to continue to add things to this every year and amend the soil. So it would probably be pretty like distributed and broken down and mixed and be like a pretty small ratio. And then honestly, on top of that, I'm going to show you what this is over here. I didn't know what to expect, honestly. And when I looked at it, I was actually really surprised. This, to me, does not look like compost. This is wood chips. So, I don't know if to get approved by the EPA, they had to put like a high ratio of brown matter in it, the wood chips, or what. But this literally, to me, is like straight up wood chips. Which, I mean, I'm not going to complain about that. Wood chips are awesome for your garden too, and it was free, and so I figured, well, I'm going to take it no matter what. It's not as much of a compost layer as it is wood chip and another brown layer, which we're going to have a lot of brown in our garden because I put down all that cardboard, and then we're going to have wood chips on top, but I don't know, like I said, this whole thing is new to us, like the homesteading thing, and we have done gardens in the past, and we've always been just experimenting with different methods, so we're just continuing that. Wood chips have worked great for us in the past. As they break down, it takes a lot longer for them to break down, but as they break down, they provide awesome nutrients and putting more of that carbon into the soil and adding nitrogen to that, so it's great. It's just a longer process. The other huge benefit to wood chips is it kind of acts as a barrier for moisture. So that's super valuable up here, especially because I was telling you just a second ago that we aren't, right now, we're not going to be irrigating this. Probably next summer we might not have it irrigated, so having this layer to keep that moisture in will be really useful. So there's a lot more than what I'm actually going to put on this garden bed. I think I'm going to layer it pretty thick. We'll see. And then there are some other areas. I'm going to put some around the base. Sorry. I'm going to put some around the base of those. And I've got a couple more of those on the property. I don't know what those are. If you know what those are, comment, because they told us though it was lilac bushes, but there were no flowers on them this year, so yeah, we're not sure what they are. There are the other ones that I have on the property, they're not doing as well as these are. So I'm gonna actually rake out that landscaping rock. I'm gonna put it out on the road or on this path maybe, and then put mulch, these wood chips / compost, not really, around the bottom of it. Also, I mean, can we take a moment to appreciate this parking job for the trailer? Look at that. Driving a trailer is somewhat new to me, so I mean, I'm pretty darn impressed. Got a good base layer down. I actually think I'm going to do another load that same size. Again, I want to try to even out, as I'm looking at that, we really need to build up the rocks on that other side to make sure that those wood chips don't just get pushed and washed down through the rocks. But yeah, I'm going to do another load. Probably that side of the garden is going to be a little bit thicker in wood chips than this, just so I can try to get it level. And I've got that was like half of this, so I might actually be using all of this, which, awesome. That's cool. Can't go wrong with wood chips. Alright, right, I am all done. I don't even know what I look like right now. I might have like dirt, wood chip dust all over my face. But I have put the wood chips everywhere. I used that whole load. I put the wood chips everywhere in here. And then I did put them on top of that bed. So that bed, like a couple of weeks ago, I had put cardboard down and then grass clippings on top. So I just added a layer of wood chips, and then this, I did the same as that, layer of cardboard and then wood chips. I put some wood chips around the base of that, and then that one over there. Yeah, wow, it just transforms the look a lot. It looks a lot more polished. So that's a cool thing about wood chips, is not only is it really good for your garden, but it also looks pretty nice. Even though like you kind of have to add to it every year, but still it's great. So earlier you probably could like hear my voice and stuff. I was a little bit disappointed that this is just wood chips. It's not really compost. I don't know. When I called, I actually even called them to ask them about it. They didn't seem super knowledgeable about their compost that they were getting. I don't know, but especially as I was spreading this out, I'm like, this is just wood chips. Which again, I'm not complaining. The reason why I was kind of disappointed is because this method right here is what we've always kind of done for gardening. Put down cardboard, or maybe no cardboard, but wood chips. Wood chips has always been our go-to. It's always been great. It's like, you can't go wrong with wood chips. But I wanted to try out compost because we actually haven't really had experience using compost before. And I mentioned we like to experiment with different things and see how they work for us in the area that we're in. Oh well, looks like we'll just really have to make our own compost. The other thing that it's kind of an inconvenience about wood chips is you really don't want to disturb the soil underneath after it's like getting to decompose and stuff. You don't, like, when we amend and add compost to this eventually, like, you can't just add it on top because you don't want to mix that in with the wood chips. It will just take the wood chips that much longer to decompose. So what you have to do to amend your soil is you have to either rake the wood chips away, put your amendments in, and then put the wood chips back, or sometimes you can like just sprinkle it a little bit at a time, like before a rainfall, and then it will like take the nutrients from the compost in between the wood chips. But like, you really don't want to mix up your soil and your wood chips because it will just take the wood chips longer to decompose. So that was another thing. I'm like, oh man, now when we like are able to amend the soil here, we're gonna have to like rake all these wood chips back, put it down. But I guess so is the story of gardening. There's always work to be had and to be done. So it's about like 1 o'clock here today. This took me a little bit longer, but actually considering everything that I got done, I'm pretty impressed that I got done by 1. And I need to go pick up a load of lumber. I mentioned that earlier, and then I need to run over to where we're storing a lot of our stuff that's still not here at our friends. It's at our friend's warehouse. Thanks, Tom and Carol, again. Like a half an hour away, so it's an hour round trip. So that's what I'm going to be kind of doing. Jordan's dad is actually coming in tonight. He's going to be helping us over the next few days, and then tomorrow also our community group from church is going to be coming and taking down that deck. It kind of goes around the cabin, and then there is a deck behind the garage up there that is also going to be getting taken. It's going to get taken down tomorrow. I'm super excited, and we're just going to have some fellowship. So stay tuned to see the progress on that. Hey everyone. Alright, so I mentioned in the last video that we were going to have our community group from church come. It's like our small group, and help us out. So everybody's here. We've kind of been working for a while, and I'll give you a little shot of everything that we're doing.
Shannon will hand you this other one.
So we're taking it down this deck here.
Well, I guess I can't have the job there. What have we here?
I'm videoing for our YouTube channel that we have for our homestead.
She recognized me again, Juanita.
Yes.
She recognized me from camping a year ago
Oh,
at the campground. Remember?
that is awesome. That's great.
You got a good memory.
Wow.
So we already got a lot of this deck tore down. And then they're also working on this deck back here. Getting to work on that. I've only been here for like less than an hour. Many hands make light work. And then afterwards, we're gonna do a little potluck dinner. So it'll be a nice fellowship time as well. Okay, so everybody just left, and I I'll show you what we did in like 2.5 hours. So all the decking got taken off of that.
Are you not going to have a deck back here?
Not right now.
So that door will just be locked shut?
Jordan and his dad are talking.
Yeah. Yeah.
They were talking about whether or not we're gonna have a deck back there or not eventually. And then wow, look that deck is completely gone. Here it is right here. So open now. And then the other thing that some of us did on the side, because there's quite a few people here, so some of these rocks that were all in this yard, we kind of just pushed up there. We'll use them for something, we just didn't know what yet, but for now, just kind of get them out of the way. And then that big pile of reclaimed wood, we moved it over here. Right there. So hopefully we'll be able to resell that, or not resell it, sell it, and then reuse some of it as well. Got a lot done and had some good dinner too. Okay, let's ask Jordan and his dad how they thought it went. How do you think today went?
Pretty solid. Got a lot of work done. That upper deck is totally gone. We got a lot of wood to haul out of here.
How long, like if it was just you and I, how long do you think it would have taken us to do that?
Probably would have been an 8-hour day.
Yeah, and we got it done in
Plus
like
then-
2.5 hours.
Also, we got
Yeah, I showed them
all
that.
the decking off the back one, so you throw that on top of it. Yeah, we got a lot done.
It was a good day.
Good morning. Raising the wall this morning, the final wall in here, pretty much. So, check it out.
So I just popped out from work real quick to help Jordan raise this wall, our final wall in the downstairs. Woo woo! Hopefully this goes smoothly. It might not. Oh, it's gonna hit. It's gonna hit that. We're gonna have to raise it up over there and then drag it.
Let's see. Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
Well,
So our garage door is already, it's not going smoothly. The garage door is going to be in the way. So we're going to have to put it up down there and slide it over. We got to move all that stuff, don't we?
Glittering from the stars.
got it raised with minor issues.
That was almost the best sidewall I think to put up. It's tight, but should
Now
be.
Jordan's just gonna level and then tack it up.